What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Marvel edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just a web series where we're talking about all things that matter to me in the world of Marvel films. This is episode number 80, and I'm sure you guys by now have seen my previous episode where I announced that Tom Holland will be playing Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, and he will make his very first appearance in Captain America Civil War next year. And then he will make his first solo film debut in 2017 on July 28th with a film titled SpiderMan The New Avenger. Very, very exciting stuff. Now, this is going to be a collaboration between Marvel Studios and Sony. So speaking of Sony, there's been a lot of talk about what is really the deal between Marvel and Sony Pictures. Because there is a little bit of confusion on how they make things work. I mean, is the New Avenger film, the Spider-Man New Avenger film, is that a Sony Pictures production or is it a Marvel Studios production? So what exactly is it? Well, Kevin Feige decided to spill some more details about how that works. And it's not that much different than how Universal is handling a solo Hulk film. And that is, Sony is not particularly producing their film. It'll just be under their Sony Pictures banner. Marvel will be producing the film, but it will be a collaboration between Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures. But Kevin Feige mentioned that they're going to be producing Spider-Man, The New Avenger, no different than any of their other films. Alright? Everything's going to be the same in how they're going to be approaching the production of the film. As for Sony Pictures and their involvement, they're not really doing a whole lot of work. Perhaps they will be approving scripts and some other things, but for the most part, this is a Marvel Studios production, and then we'll also see that Sony Pictures banner at the beginning of the film. Okay? And of course, there will be a bunch of executive producer credits from some Sony executives. But other than that, it's not that much different from any other Marvel Studios production. Now, are there any limitations to what they can do with the character? Not a whole lot. As a matter of fact, Kevin Feige did mention that characters from other Marvel films can cross over to the Spider-Man The New Avengers film, just like how Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, can cross over to any one of those other Marvel Studios films in Phase 3, as long as the story calls for it. So it's not that much different, and that is great. I'm glad that they're not hindering the process or providing any limitations towards the productions all over some legal issues or some, issues about who holds the rights, alright? At the end of the day, the studios are going to give us something that the fans want, and that is great, okay? Now, speaking of Civil War, we already know that William Hurt will be playing General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, okay? He was the, essentially the, one of the nemesis well, not really a nemesis, but he was an obstruction in the Incredible Hulk film. Okay, and he is making an appearance in Civil War, and in my previous video, I did mention that William Hurt did say that his character in Civil War is going to be much different. Okay, now, Mark Ruffalo never got the call about him appearing in Civil War. Robert Downey Jr. said to Mark Ruffalo, "Hey Ruffalo, I heard you're gonna be in Civil War." All Mark Ruffalo responded with was that, "Oh, really? Okay, sure." That's all something along those lines. That's all he said. But there wasn't anything official about Mark Ruffalo being signed on to appear in Civil War. Okay? Now, if Robert Downey Jr. says there's going to be a Hulk in the film and General Thunderbolt Ross is going to appear, and then he also said that his character is going to be much different, I'm going to go ahead and say that General Ross might be appearing, could be appearing. There's a high chance that he's going to be appearing as the Hulk. The Red Hulk. The red version of Hulk. The anti-Hulk. So you know what? That is something that it's quite exciting. Okay, I'm gonna read you this quote from William Hurt. I loved playing Ross the first time because I was able to try and create an ego as big as the monster he was chasing, and one that was as warped too. Ross in Civil War is different because it's a different style. It's a more modernized style, and what they've done is they've taken a character who was the Ross from the older film and made a new version. This is a much newer Ross, a much different Ross, and I liked that a lot. I haven't had a lot of time to understand it, but I'm doing the best I can, and they haven't fired me yet. Okay? That's all he has said about his character. You know what? He hasn't mentioned anything about the Hulk, but if Robert Downey Jr. says there's going to be a Hulk appearing in Civil War, Mark Ruffalo doesn't know about it, you know what? All the fingers are all the hints are pointing towards that General Ross could be the Red Hulk, okay? But who knows? I mean, this is all rumor and speculation, so I'm just throwing this out there. Okay, now, another rumor. This is from a rumor from Latino Review, very reliable source in the entertainment news. Here's a rumor that is pretty crazy, okay? In 2018, 20th Century Fox has locked in July 13th for an untitled 20th Century Fox Marvel film. Okay, we haven't we don't know what it's gonna be. Okay, 2016 is gonna be a huge year. X-Men Apocalypse, Gambit, and Deadpool. All right, 2017. Also a very big year. We are getting a Fantastic Four 2. I mean, provided that Fantastic Four, the reboot, isn't a bomb. Okay, so we are getting Fantastic Four 2 as well as the Wolverine 3 or the Wolverine 2, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that's going on for 2017. But they have locked in July 13th, 2018 for an untitled 20th Century Fox Marvel film. Okay, now there was an announcement, an official announcement that the director for The Fault in Our Stars will be directing the Young Mutants film. All right, it's he'll be directing a Young Mutants film, which isn't supposed to happen anytime soon, but he is at least locked in to direct that film. Okay. And it's kind of like a spin-off of the X-Men, but with a younger team of mutants, all right? But, now here's the rumor from Latino Review. Latino Review states that Fantastic Four and X-Men could cross over. Now, ain't that a trip? Now, that could be something that is really, really crazy. I mean, after all, we aren't getting an X-Men film or an X-Men spin-off film in 2018. They don't really have anything in 2018 at all. Okay, it's almost like they need to start looking for ideas because X-Men is the Bryan Singer X-Men universe is ending next year. Okay, and then they got their character spin-offs, Deadpool and Gambit, but they have no plans for sequels yet because they're really just testing the waters right now. So why not take their two possibly and hopefully two most popular properties and put them together? And if you don't already know, in the comics, X-Men and Fantastic Four did cross over before. They fought a common enemy. So that could happen. And if they are going to do that, we'll be seeing a new bunch of X-Men. Believe that. Okay? I mean, as for the Fantastic Four, pretty sure they're going to stay the same. I mean, they have to. I mean, it's a very young team. All right, so it's important that it's the same Fantastic Four cast members and team. But as for the X-Men, they can change them because there's going to be all kinds of young and new mutants. So the X-Men has gone through so many changes that this can happen. But this is just a rumor from a very reliable source. But rumors are rumors. But still, 20th Century Fox needs to keep their own cinematic universe going, and they got to start pulling from the source material. And even if the stories are kind of obscure, they need to start doing that because right now Marvel Studios with Phase 3, they're really putting everybody in the shadows, okay? But, who knows how that's gonna go. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. I'm just here to talk about a couple of big rumors and some speculation. But other than that, that's all I got for you. And so stay tuned for the next episode. We're going to talk about more juicy stuff that's happening in the world of Marvel films. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It's subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name's Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Awesome. Alright? Now, obviously, they can't cast Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl in a Hit Girl prequel. They obviously have to cast someone younger. So